right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. I'm Michael, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving us some time. We know it's valuable to you. We know you're busy, and we try to bring you tidbits of information as it comes out pertaining to what's going on, all right? You got to still connect your own dots. Never take what we say here to be fact. We want you to listen to everything you can, watch everything you can, but believe none of it until you yourself can verify it, whatever process that is for you. All right, only you know that. All right, so here we got today, first DOJ announcements unsealed. This is going back a little bit, just a month or so, with a couple of different articles that'll tie some stuff together, but I think it's important. So let me bring this up here again. If you're new, make sure you're subscribed. Maybe ring the bell, and then subscribe, then ring the bell. That way you get the notifications for when we put out a video. Okay, first DOJ indictments unsealed. Clinton Foundation connected bank, Mossack, Fonseca, tied to money laundering. So we got this United States District Court, again out of the Southern District of New York, sealed indictment. United States of America versus, we got Ramses Owen, aka Ramses Owen Saad, Dick Barr, Richard Gaffey, aka Dick Gaffey, and Harold Joachim von der Glotz, aka H.G. von der Glotz, Johann von der Glotz, defendants. All right, count one, conspiracy to defraud the United States. The grand jury charges. So at all times relevant to this indictment, Ramses Owens, aka Ramses Owen Saad, the defendant, was a citizen and a resident of Panama. I will skip down here to the actual article. Washington, D.C., as reported by Courthouse News, federal prosecutors announced charges this Tuesday against four men connected to the law firm Mossack Fonseca, which has extensive ties with the Clinton Foundation. The charges, which include conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit tax evasion, wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracy, come merely 3 years after the leak of the Panama Papers by the ICIJ and published heavily by WikiLeaks. The papers were received by the German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung in 2015 from an anonymous source. The charges line up with several of the sealed indictments requesting wiretaps, PRTT orders, and search warrants, which were leaked by the DOJ recently and reported on the Daily Crusader. See our full report of the DOJ's leaked search warrant indictments. It's kind of interesting if we go to part one of what they've leaked. Indictments expose Pizzagate, cabal about to be rounded up, not a drill. So these indictments leaked by the DOJ earlier in the week have revealed that Pizzagate is about to be rolled up like a fine dough. To begin with, please notice the crimes listed below, 50 U.S.C. 1701 and 50 U.S.C. 1702, both which can be ordered, investigated by the President of the United States and his attorneys. Make this a little bigger here. Wow, where does it go when you... There it is. So filed October 2nd of 18. We got a category event. P.Writ order the 3 email accounts serviced by Microsoft Corporation for investigation. 3 email accounts violation. So now those anons of you who have been with us since 2016 will remember the hack of the weathepizza.com, whereby an anon on 4chan who cross-posted it to Voight alleged to have hacked the Wi-Fi of one of the We the Pizza, which was operating a server in a back room on a back-end weathepizza.com, and allegedly have left with over 2 gig of violent child pornography. The Anon claimed 2 of his friends involved in the hack were murdered. At the time, he had no idea what to do with the cloned hard drive. Well then, oh dear, isn't it troubling for our JDIF friends then? Update. 2500 Ridgepoint Drive, Austin, Texas is an Endurance International Group THX Texas headquarters. And what is this next story? Creepy house that's closed for business most of the year. House of Torment. Endurance International Group, UTHQ 222 Main Street, Suite 200, Salt Lake City, Utah. And guess who shares the building? Goldman Sachs. In other words, the LDS Church and the CIA. All right. So back to our article here. We'll go real quick to part 2. DOJ indictments seem to lead back to Las Vegas shootings, Pizzagate, and events related. So anyway, those other 2 were other leaked. This shows that the Clinton Foundation may very well be close to being rolled up. These charges, while very serious, still do not explain some of the leaked PRTT wiretap orders, such as the national security orders, the drug trafficking orders, or the orders related to child trafficking or providing aid to forest terrorist organizations. The charges filed Tuesday lay out a scheme by which participants would hide their assets in foreign tax havens away from the prying eyes of the U.S. and other sovereign nations' taxation authorities, presumably to avoid paying taxes and possibly to have assets available should they ever need to flee their respective home countries for their alleged treason. Now, I would say, folks, if you haven't seen the movie The Panama Papers, it's not really a movie, it's a, I guess, a documentary. Hold on here. So, yeah, the documentary, I just watched it maybe a month ago. It just came out. It's all dealing with the Panama Papers that were released. It's all the richest people around the world, how they had the offshore accounts. They were, these really rich people wanted to not pay the taxes that were implemented in all the countries that they lived in, even here. Tons of people implemented in this, folks. It's just a way to totally avoid paying countries' taxes. Authorities have successfully arrested 3 of the 4 men. Dick Bohr, a 54-year-old German investment advisor for the Mossack Asset Management, Richard Gaffey, a 74-year-old U.S. accountant, and Harold Joachim van der Glotz, an 81-year-old German-born client. Mossack Fonseca, attorney Ramses Owens, a 50-year-old from Panama, remains at large. So he was the attorney, Mossack Fonseca attorney, Ramses Owens. He's still remaining at large. The charges were all levied by the U.S. attorney Jeffrey Bremen in the Southern District of New York, which FBI Anon heavily suggested back in 2016 would be where the Clinton Foundation would be taken down. So they were pointing to all this. The FBI Anon was pointing that the Clinton Foundation's takedown, start of it all, would be through this method that's happening. In a statement, Bremen said, for decades, the defendants, employees, and client of global law firm Mossack Fonseca allegedly shuffled millions of dollars through offshore accounts and created shell companies to hide fortunes. In fact, as alleged, they had a playbook and repatriate untaxed money into the U.S. banking system. So repatriate. Now their international tax scheme is over. These defendants face years in prison for their crimes. One of the clients listed as Client 3 began cooperating with the DOJ using voluntary wiretaps and by meeting with undercover agents in America and overseas in January of 2017. Heavily lending credence to the Daily Crusader's theory, See our full report on the DOJ's leaked search warrant indictments, Part 1 here, Part 2 here. And some of the cabal crimes being handled by the DOJ were necessarily ordered, investigated by the president due to the nature of their 50 U.S.C. statute violations. 11 charges were outlined in the indictment against the 4 men. Clinton Foundation-connected associates were related to the Mossack Fonseca, including Gabriel Fakeloff, finance director for Hillary Clinton's first campaign for the U.S. Senate, Frank Gustra, a Canadian mining magnate, who's traveled the globe with Bill Clinton, a member of the Shargari family, which pledged $1 billion in projects to the Clinton Global Initiative, and Chinese billionaire Ng Lap Sing, who was at the center of the Democratic Fund raising scandal when Bill Clinton was president. Also using the Panamanian law firm was a company founded by the late billionaire investor Mark Rich, an international fugitive when Bill Clinton pardoned him in the final hours of his presidency. Some of the most consistently reliable news sources, such as the RT, have been reporting about the connection between the Clinton Foundation and Mossack Fonseca since early of 2016. Here we've got WikiLeaks have her beat the shit out of a staffer as a prep to make Clinton less unpleasant during interviews. Have her beat the shit out of a punch doll or maybe a staffer, so she would be warm and charming in the interview. Update appears that John Podesta was on the executive board of a client of the Mossack Fonseca. So, Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign manager, John Podesta, was on the executive board of a client of the Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca, which is the heart of the Panama Papers. Investigation into the massive global offshore money laundering. The company for which Podesta served as a board member, Joel, also received $35 million from Putin-connected Russia government fund at the same time. Then, Secretary of State Secretary of State Hillary Clinton spearheaded the transfer of U.S. advanced technology with some military uses as part of her reset strategy with Russia. Update: there seemed to be some misunderstanding between the term bank and law firm. Remember that these crimes occurred in Panama, where the distinctions are not easily drawn. The law firm provided corporate service and, in a sense, acted as a bank by allowing the funneling of money in and out of the shell companies they set up and controlled, using Panamanian law instead of U.S. law. See the wiki entry for further reasoning on how that works. Folks, it's a word porn. Update: and Anon explained to use very simple why the cabal used relatively lawless Panama instead of Cayman Islands, which would have afforded them the crown's protection. It's summed up with scrutiny in below image. Department of Justice. During 1989, at the beginning of his administration, George H.W. Bush appointed Barr to the U.S. Department of Justice as a Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel, an office which functions as a legal advisor for the president and executive agencies. Barr was known as a strong defender of presidential power and wrote adversary opinions justifying the U.S. invasions of Panama and the arrest of Manuel Noriega, a controversial opinion that the FBI could enter onto foreign soil without the consent of the host government to apprehend fugitives wanted by the U.S. government for terrorism or drug trafficking. So there you go. All right, so we will shut this one down. There are been some new Q updates. I'll get over those in the next video. Looks like there was an operation going on actively last night, so I'm going to cover that one shortly after this one. Just wanted to get this one read to you. Keep in mind, these indictments started rolling out like October, November, and then late December. And there's been things going on, folks. We're seeing it here all the way back to December of 17, or December 17. And remember again, the Q, the Huber investigation started in November. Q in late October of 17, and then the investigations, and then with Trump signing everything that he's signed, all the executive orders talking about if you're found to be guilty of, human rights abuse, human trafficking, all your assets, all your monies can be taken, no matter where it's at. All right. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed each and every one of you. And we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update video. Make sure you're subscribed, folks. And all the links are down below. Got the links to, if you want to monetarily donate to the Patriot Hour, they're there. If you just want to share the video, the QAnon pub, this article link, if you want to check out the other couple of links that they had. All right, check out down below. And again, check the comment section out, leave a comment, and take a look. Some of the greatest patriots around the world right here, part of the Patriot Hour. Some of the greatest patriots I've ever met and had the privilege of chatting with. Lead you in the right direction and help you connect all the dots. We're doing it together, collectively. So again, do your own connecting of the dots. Listen to everybody. Read everything you can. Believe none of it until you can verify. All right, we'll see you back here real soon. Have a great morning into your afternoon.